Bhaktavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Namo Vishwadaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam and Canto 3, Chapter 1, text number 38. Kachid Yashoda Rathayuthapanam Sorry. Thought it wasn't. Gandhi vadhano paratair aste alakshito ya charakuta gudo maya kirato girisastutosha Kachid yashoda ratayutapanam Gandhi vadhano vaparitar aste alakshito ya charakuta gudo maya kirato girishastutosha Kachit yashoda kratayutapanam Gandhi vadanovo parate aste Alakshito ya charakuta gudo Maya kirato girishastutosha Kachid yashoda ratayutapanam Gandhi vadano vaparater aste Alakshito ya charakuta gudo Maya kirato girishastutosha Word by word translation. Kachit, whether, Yashodha, famous, Ratha Yuthapanam, amongst the great chariot warriors, Gandiva, Dhanva, bow, Uparata, Arit, one who has vanquished the enemies. Aste, doing well. Alakshita, without being identified. Yat, whose? Sarakuta Gudo, being covered by arrows. Maya Kirata, false hunter. Girisha, Lord Shiva, Tutosha, was satisfied. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jaguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Please tell me whether Arjuna, whose bow bears the name Gandiva, and who is always famous amongst the chariot warriors for vanquishing his enemies, is doing well. He once satisfied Lord Shiva by covering him with arrows when Shiva came as an unidentified false hunter. Purport. Lord Shiva tested Arjuna's strength by picking a quarrel with him over a hunted boar. He confronted Arjuna in the false dress of a hunter, and Arjuna covered him with arrows until Lord Shiva was satisfied with Arjuna's fighting. He offered Arjuna the Pashupati weapon and blessed him. Here, Vidura inquired about the great warrior's well-being. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manohishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Upam Sagrajatam Sahagana Gunata Tam Sajivam Swadvaitam Savadhutam Pariyana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taru Vasha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanang Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviriritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatakam Bhuviginnati Devurida Jana Bhuviginnati Devurida Jana. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse, Vidura inquiring about Arjuna, and Arjuna is the greatest warrior at his time, and in this verse also Vidura mentioned about a past time, about when Arjuna was confronted by Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva, he was disguised himself as a hunter. So how that happened, if you just go back to that past time. So that was during the time of when Pandavas was in exile. And Yudhishthira Maharaj at that point of time, he was quite worried about the safety of his family. Because what he was saying that all the associates with Duryodhan, like in the Kaurava side, most of them have celestial weapons. So the celestial weapons, we have heard, like the Brahmastra, Pashupat, these are some celestial weapons that was given by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva to them. And they haven't possessed, none of them have any of them, like the Pandavas. And as he was getting advised by, different personalities, like some from Krishna, from Narada, that he knew that the war is inevitable. So then, while he was worried and he was sitting at one place and he was thinking about this, Vyasadeva appeared there. So Vyasadeva asked him that, what's your worry? Why you are sitting here like this? Then he, explained, opened his heart with all his anxiety and sorrow. Then Vyasadeva said, but why are you worried? All of you are so worthy of getting this celestial weapon, right? So I can arrange this for you. So there is a mantra that I can give you. It's called the Anusmriti mantra. So what happened that when you chant that mantra, after that the situation will, it's not like that by just chanting that you will get the celestial weapons. When you chant that mantra, after that a journey will start. And if you go through that journey, you will get the celestial weapons. And then you can only use this mantra once by only one person. So you have to give this mantra to the most worthy one. So who do you think among your brother can take it? And then Yudhishthira Maharaj was thinking that whom, in the fire, because all of them could have taken it. But then he was thinking that if he takes it, he is the head of the family, so he has to be there, and he is in exile. So if anything happens with the family, he has to take care. Everyone will look at him for decision. So he wasn't sure that if he is the right person to go. Then he thought about Bhimsen. Bhimsen was obviously the most strongest one. But at the same time, Bhimsen's he was required there because he was doing because they were in exile, there was so much physical work was required. Because they were not used to it, they were grown up in the palaces. So they were not that much used to do all those physical work. So they thought, no, I need Bhim here. And also the other point was sometimes Bhim his focus used to go here and there, especially with food stuffs and things like that. If he used to get carried away. So in this journey, you need someone who is very focused, who can go through that journey, because that journey will demand quite a lot from you. So he thought that no, Bhimsen, let Bhim be here. And then Nakul and Sahadev, whenever some kind of this kind of things comes where someone has to take a journey or something which is go through a tough time, Yudhishthira always used to protect Nakul and Sahadev even more than Bhim and Arjun, because he always thought that they are bigger responsibility, because they were the son of Madri. They are not from his own mother's womb, but in the sense of protecting them, he always used to make sure that Nakul and Sahadev are protected. So he doesn't want to take that chance with them, and wanted to keep, and especially Kunti was very much affectionate for them. So Yudhishthira Maharaj decided, okay, let them be here. So who's left is Arjuna. And he thought that yes, Arjun probably will be the best person here. He is focused and he can go through this journey. Then when time arrives, he spoke with Arjuna and said that, look, I think that because for our safety we need this. So can you please go and do this? Arjuna said, yes, that's fine. I will... thank you. Yes, sure, I will take this responsibility. So Arjuna went and he chanted that mantra. As soon as he chanted that mantra, the journey began. And then he has to leave his family behind, and he started his journey towards north. So the idea was it's go to all four directions. So first he started his journey towards north. And as it is said, like these are all described in Mahabharata, that while he was in his journey, his speed was as fast as the mind. So he was covering distance in high amount, in large amount of distance in a very short time. So he came in a place near Mandara mountain. So his destination was towards Himalaya, because obviously he was to go to Kailash to meet Lord Shiva. So before that he came into Mandara mountain. So in that Mandara mountain, he saw there is one yogi there. And he was doing his tapasya, but he looked at him when Arjuna was passing by. So Arjuna stopped. He offered his obeisances, his respect to him. And the yogi looked at him and said that, look, this is a place of worship. This is a place of where we do meditation. You can't have your, and I can see you have all your armors with you, all your, bow and arrows with you. Get rid of them and just sit down and do, your meditation here. That will give you salvation. Just forget about all the other things. These material miseries will come and go, right? Today you are going to solve one material misery, tomorrow something else will come. So just don't worry about it. Just get rid of your armors and everything and just sit down here and do your meditation. Think about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Meditate on Him. This is the perfect place. And Arjuna saw the house, in a very nice place. Really, really nice facilities. But then he thought again that this is not my mission. My mission is to protect my family. That is my dharma. And in that way, because when Krishna was because he was very close to Krishna always depended on Arjuna to make sure that the Pandavas they are safe. And that's why Krishna always groomed Arjuna in that way. And he thought that the Lord actually has given me all this instruction. So I shouldn't abandon them and just sit down here and don't look after them. So that actually shows one thing, that for a devotee, sometimes we might come up with a situation which is very favorable for our own sadhana. But we know that if we don't go out and take that extra step or do that hard things, then it will not benefit others. Because devotee is always para dukhe dukhi, like nija shukhe shukhi. Para dukhe dukhe is he's always sad, seeing other ones sad. Not because I'm happy, that means everything is done. So that's why he was thinking that, Arjuna was thinking that, no, I shouldn't just sit down here and do this meditation for myself. And we see an example of devotees, where they had such wonderful arrangements. They could just sit down there and do their own sadhana. But they didn't took that step. And we see our example, most recent example with Srila Prabhupada. He was in his advanced stage. He had all this facility in the Radha Madan Mohan temple. And he could have just stayed there in his last years, do his sadhana, everything. But he made that journey to US. Why? Because he knew that is the mission what his guru has given him. So Arjuna looked Yudhishthira as his elder brother also, as a guru. And when someone has asked something, as given some instruction, he has to do it. So that's why Yudhishthira, Arjuna, at that point of time, very respectfully refused the proposal and said that, look, this is my mission, I have to go, and I have to take care of my family. So then the yogi, he actually then become happy and he came to his real form. So that yogi was actually Lord Indra. And we know that Lord Indra is also Arjun's father. And he showered his blessing on him, but then he said that, look, I actually can't give you any celestial weapon. I don't have one. You have to, but I can show you the path that you can take, where you can get your celestial weapon. So he then, he gave his blessing and then he went away. Arjuna thought that, okay, so he was almost there where he needs to go as per the destination. So he said that, okay, well, I'm here. Let me just, sit down for a while here. Just meditate on the Lord a little bit and then I will start my journey. So Arjuna sat down there and he was doing meditation. Suddenly, he saw that a boar is running towards him. The boar was it was a big boar running towards him in a great force. And Arjuna, he just opened his eyes and because of that sound which was coming. And he just, straight away he took out his Gandiv and shoot an arrow to that boar. But at the side of his eye, he could see that from other side there was one other personality which appeared and also shot an arrow. And the arrow came at the same time it hit the boar. Both at the same time. And the boar was just and it was dead straight away. But then this personality, so Arjuna now, it was just on a corner of his house, but then the personality started to come out of the bushes. And then it came out in front of him, and he said that it's a big, huge person. And he was wearing a deer skin. And he looks like a hunter. And then he was quite upset. So he came towards Arjuna and he said why did you shoot an arrow to that boar? I was chasing that boar for a while. Arjuna said that, I didn't knew it. I saw that the boar was attacking me. I haven't seen you. That's why I have shoot that arrow. Now, as per the Kshatriya, they have some code of conducts, right? So as per that, if you shoot your arrow, you have to claim the prize. If you don't claim it, it brings, that brings, you are not that person who has killed it. So it's like their scalp, it's a prize thing. So Arjuna said, no, that is mine. And that hunter said, no. And moreover, you are a visitor here. You are an outsider. This is my area. I live here. And I actually go out and I do hunting. So as per the, and then he used the word, as per the Kshetrapal, right? As per the Kshetrapal, I actually should have this. And Arjuna was mocking him, well, Kshetrapal? You know who Kshetrapal is? You are just a mere hunter. You don't know who is Kshetrapal. We say Lord Shiva is Kshetrapal. Wherever he said, he protects the area. How come you say that? And then they started arguing, and then obviously as Kshatriyas, then they start fighting. Okay, challenge each other and started. Now interesting thing happened that Arjuna was throwing arrows. Here it's saying showering arrows at this personality, at this hunter. And all the arrows were was going near him, and they were converting into flower and just fall on his feet as flowers. And Arjuna was really surprised that how it's happening. Then he called for some of his more powerful weapons, not the celestial because he didn't have that at that point of time, but he called for some other powerful weapons. And he threw at him. Until now, this personality has done nothing. But he threw whatever to that personality, just all went and became flower or garland and just offered as an offering to that personality. So then Arjuna thought that, there might be something, this personality is not this personality, maybe there is something. Then that personality said that, are you satisfied with your arrows? Can we do something else? Arjuna was like, yes. So okay, let's do, wrestling. Now let's fight with our hand. And Arjuna said, okay. Arjuna went, started fighting. And then he understood, like as he went near to him, he said some different aura is coming. He is not a hunter. And eventually Arjuna just folded his hand and said like, no, who are you? So then Lord Shiva, the hunter was Lord Shiva. Like, he revealed himself and he blessed Arjuna. And he knew that I knew that why you came here. I just wanted to know that you are so famous with your archery. I just wanted to see, and I'm satisfied very much, like looking at you. I want to spend some time with you. But I knew that you are on your mission, so even if I come to you and say that, okay, spend some time with me, you will not. So I thought for a Kshatriya, the best way to spend time is by fighting. So I wanted to spend some time with you. And I'm very much satisfied with your valor, with your strength. And with that, I'm presenting you this. So he presented the Pashupat. His name is Pashupati. One of the name of Lord Shiva is Pashupati. And that's why the name of the celestial weapon is Pashupat. And he presented that to Arjuna. So, like that, like in Mahabharata, this is like, the stories goes like this, and he get Pashupat, then he went to other places. He went to then south, north, and then south he went. And then he went near the Rameshwaram, where the bridges of the made by the monkeys. And then he was making fun of them, how come this monkey, because they knew that, the monkey made the bridge. And he was like, what kind of monkey, they made bridge? I have to see it. He went and then he saw that, one big monkey was lying there. And he said, hey, have you made this bridge? They said, no, we didn't do anything. It's all Lord Ram's mercy. We just, we just prayed to him. Then Arjuna said, then what this big thing about all these monkeys? They are so, big fighters, they are so powerful and things like that. What is all this big fuss about? They haven't done anything, right? They said, no, they haven't done anything. They just followed Lord Ram. That's what they did. And then they started talking, and then obviously that big monkey was like Hanuman. And when he revealed himself to Arjuna and said that, look, I don't have any celestial weapon. I'm just a mere servant of the Lord Ram. But what I can do that during the fight, I'll be on top of your chariot. So put my flag on top of your chariot. So what used to happen that on the top of Arjuna's chariot, there is this flag of Hanuman. And Hanuman used to go there on top of his chariot, and he used to scream, his forceful voice, and that actually creates so much fear within that all the others on the opposite sides. They are just who is screaming from Arjuna's chariot. So in that way Arjuna collected all of this thing, celestial weapons from everyone. He got Brahmastra and everything. But the point here is Arjuna, through his mission every time, he was very much fixed on his, what he has to do. And as with Krishna, as he spent so much time with the Lord we see with the Pandavas, his relationship was something different. He slept in the same bed with them. He eat with them on the same platform. He was the way of him took care of the Pandavas was something always very much different that you can see in anywhere. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead have taken care of a family, the Pandavas. If you see that in another part, in any other part of the scriptures, you don't see these examples. But he was very much caring about this family. And for them, he wanted to do anything. They said, okay, you become the charioteer, he will become charioteer. You become you do the guest reception. Okay, guest reception, what needs to be done? Wash the feet of the guest. Yeah, I will do it. So he was doing everything for them. So it was just like so wonderful. And the Pandavas, they also always, they didn't misuse this. They didn't take any advantage of this. They always knew that, okay, that we are under the shelter, we are under the protection of the Lord. So that's why we saw that, every time Duryodhana was pushing them to do something, hey, go to this lakh house, or ask Bhima to eat the poisonous cake, or do whatever things, go for exile. And when they were exiled, then they say, what is that, Durvasa Muni to go there, and so that make such a situation that Durvasa Muni curse them. Every time they do all these things, but Pandavas, they knew that we are under the protection. But that didn't make them arrogant. That, oh, we are under the protection. Sometimes what happens, if you are in a protection of a powerful person, you become, that's what happened in Kali Yuga. That if you are under a protection of a powerful person, you go and do all kind of, arrogant things. Hey, who is going to take care? Classic example we see in India, with whoever the ministers, relatives and things, and they become so arrogant. Hey, we are a big businessman. Because that's with power, all those things comes. But the real responsibility is not to misuse that power. You use the power in such a way that you can serve others. And that's what we see Arjuna is doing here. So that's what Vidura remembered. He was inquiring about Arjuna, that how is he doing, and specifically about this incident and this pastime. There where Arjuna was very focused and he did his service. So we finished it here today, the class. Ganshraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Thai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.